Good evening and welcome to our regular city council meeting of March 23rd, 2023. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Clerk, please take the roll. And by the way, we have 3 of our council members, one that is unable to call in, Vice Mayor. The other 2 are calling in remote from DC. They're part of a conference that many of us will be joining.
Okay. Mayor Hartke,
Present.
Vice Mayor Orlando is absent excused. Councilmember Encinas,
Here.
Councilmember Ellis,
Here.
Councilmember Stewart,
Here.
Councilmember Harris,
Here.
Councilmember Poston.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Is Pastor Nathan Messler here? Pastor Messler? Is Pastor Victor Hardy in the crowd? Pastor Victor Hardy will be giving our invocation tonight, and I'll be doing the pledge tonight. Pastor Hardy.
Let us pray. We have come into this house and gathered in his name to worship him. We have come into this house and gathered in his name to worship him. We have come into this house and gathered in his name to worship Christ our Lord. Worship him, Christ our Lord. Worship him in Jesus' name, our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Pastor, for that focus. Council, on our consent item, whoever makes a motion, there is a little memorandum from our city attorney that refers to one of the items. If this could be read before that, but before we do that, I did want to just take a moment and you'll notice in this packet there is a number of items that are we're appointing people to our boards and commissions, and I want to thank all of our city members who applied for boards and commissions. We have a bumper crop of people that have applied, and which means we've got a lot of great people who applied, which also means that we are unable to give everyone the opportunity who applied to serve. And so my methodology on this, with if someone has served a term, unless they're had not been able to attend their first term, then I usually let people serve a second term, and that takes up the bulk of these reappointments. I then looked to council recommendations, our staff recommendations, and that takes up most of, if not all of the rest of these. So I do want to thank everyone that has applied and all of those in particular that we will be voting in tonight. There are a few more that we will, for other reasons, that next month we will also complete that process. A board wasn't quite ready or asked for a delay, so there's some reasons why we will be coming back next month and completing that process. So with that, is there a motion to be made here?
Yeah, Mayor.
Councilmember. I almost called you temporary acting vice mayor.
my new role. Move to approve the consent agenda for March 23rd, 2023, regular meeting items 1 through 24.
Plus read that there too, please.
Plus, I gotta please refer to the attached of the ordinance. Okay, plus Exhibit A to Ordinance 5048 relating to the regulation of short-term rental, has been laid out in specific language. Recidivist was replaced with habitual offender, and this is not sustainable change in the meaning and the intent remaining the same.
Very good. So we have a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any additional discussion, recusals, et cetera?
Mayor,
Councilmember Stewart.
thank you. I appreciate the work that was put into resolution 5048. I'll be voting no on that, City Clerk, only because of the added tax, the $250. If that changes later, I'll amend my vote. Thank you.
I don't believe that this is part of this vote this time. So that's, it's, okay. Okay, so we have one no vote on that. Please note. Council, please vote.
Councilmember Encinas,
Yes.
Councilmember Ellis.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously with the exception of item number 2, which carries by majority. Councilmember Stewart dissenting.
Very good, thank you. Item number 6, Councilmember Stewart, I know we had this robust conversation, but you still wanted to share a couple comments?
Well, thank you, Mayor. On item number 6, this is the item that we talked about on Monday at pretty long length, and I think most everyone's aware of what's going on. I think it's just a testament to our moving forward and being a community of innovation and trying new things and trying to provide better service to the community. This CenturyLink? Oh, this is not the, I don't think I called this one in. Did we move numbers because of the?
No, this is
Something got
related
omitted?
to the briefing item that you wanted to make comment about.
20. Your briefing item that you called in.
It's yours.
You said, I thought you said
It's
6,
20.
Mayor.
I'm sorry, 6 on my cheat sheet
It's
list.
25.
You mean,
Yes, I fooled you there, didn't I?
I was ready though. Did you catch
Item
that?
I did. You were ready
I
to
was like
improv.
on the fly.
All right, Dave Speck can use you. Item number 26, which you had put on the agenda.
25.
Oh,
25, thank you.
item number 25. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the one on the online. Yeah, so this was the discussion about inflation reduction opportunities, and we had a robust discussion on Monday, and I appreciate that. And we have some council members missing, and they definitely need to be here as we talk about more opportunities to lower revenues or help our community with the struggles with inflation. So we're going to table this discussion to a later time, maybe even our next budget workshop, and talk a little bit more about that. Take another stab at it. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay. With that, we do have a couple unscheduled speaking cards, and see if I can get them. Let me see, it was David first of the two of you, right? All right, so if I can call up David Fletcher. David, if you would come up to here, the lights will turn green. When it's time to wrap up, it'll turn yellow, and please be done by, when it's red, you have 3 minutes. And please state your name and record, or name and address for the record, please, sir.
Yes, my name is Dave Fletcher, and I live at 701 South Dobson Road, Mesa, Arizona. I just moved there 4 months ago, but I've been coming to Arizona for the last actually 17 years. For the winter, I was a snowbird from Indianapolis, and my 2 sons, my only 2 children, and their wives and my 9 grandchildren live here in Chandler. And both of my boys and myself are all interested in playing at table tennis and have been playing at your community center and your tumbleweed recreation center. And we've enjoyed it and got a lot of benefit out of it. But there's some things that need to be added to the program. And we're asking as players that you get a facility where it will be a permanent facility where tables can be set up permanently, not have to be taken down and rolled away and then put back up. it's been players that have been setting the tables up, setting the chairs up, setting other tables for equipment to be set on, that has been preparing the facility for play, and then they have to disassemble everything at the end of play. Uh, if we're not unable to get a permanent facility where we can leave the table set up, we would request that maybe you have a person that could have the facility ready for play. The truth is, you probably think, well, this is kind of silly. Table tennis? Well, table tennis is probably the most popular sport in your community. If I don't know if you knew that or not, but there's more interest shown. For instance, I went Tuesday to the community center. We had 4 tables. We had more people sitting around waiting to play than there were playing, and they had to wait their turn. So we need we need more tables, more of a permanent facility, so we can leave the table set up, and we need more days to play. At one time it was 3, now it's been reduced to 2, even though the interest is great. And so we would like to have at least 3 or 4 days through the week to play, and then and extended times also. So you've given a lot of consideration to some of your other sports like racquetball, hundreds of thousands of dollars, or pickleball rather. Hundreds of thousands of dollars have been spent for pickleball. Very little money has been spent on the sport of table tennis. And we're just asking that for the public that loves the sport, that you will consider these proposals and give us some help.
Thank you, David.
Appreciate your time.
And,
Thank you.
and although we cannot engage you, staff is listening, and they will have your address for further follow-up. Or if you would like to talk to staff after the meeting, they'd be more than willing to further the conversation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, man.
Next up is Mike Foschino. And again, we cannot engage you as an unscheduled public appearance, but please state your name and address, and you have up to 3 minutes to share your thoughts or concerns, sir.
Okay, Michael Fushino, 1081 West Boston Court, Chandler. And I'm here for 2 issues, both of them dealing with table tennis. When we've been playing, there's 600 people now on Sean. He was the president. He's the president of our club. There's 600 people on his email list that he sends that wants to play table tennis. And right now we have, I believe, 6 tables at Chandler Community Center and 8 at Tumbleweed, but we only can play a few hours a week at both facilities. And when you know, I'm one of the higher rated players, but when I go there, there's so many paddles for people waiting to play. It frustrates the players because they have to wait around. And sometimes so because of that, a lot of players don't even show up out of those 600. They wanted me to bring to your attention that 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 pretty much like Dave said, that they haven't spent that much on table tennis. And I think you're building a new facility. We're hoping that maybe we can have a table tennis at that facility, or maybe expand in Tumbleweed to have more room or a place that we can play all the time. I know the president was thinking where they have the physical fitness, if maybe they can divide half of that into maybe a permanent table tennis facility. So I'm just requesting more hours to play because so many people are interested, and maybe more days to play, or like Dave said, ideally in the future, if we could get either a facility where we can put tables, a permanent facility to play, or else expand the playing in the Tumbleweed and Chandler Community Center. Also, when I go to Tumbleweed, I have a Silver and Fit health insurance, and I've been bugging them since I've had that to have that covered, because they cover Silver Sneakers and one of the other programs. So I called Silver and Fit. I said, how come we can't go to Tumbleweed? And they said Tumbleweed won't allow it. So I went to, I forget who I went to at Tumbleweed. One of the higher up may be able, but I'm not sure. And he said, well, he tried to get it with Silver and Fit, but they said they wanted him to have too many programs. So I called Silver and Fit back, and they said, no, we're not very strict anymore, and we'd be glad to have Tumbleweed covering the Silver and Fit, which is under the Medicare Advantage program. And but when I brought that up, they said they would check into it and see about getting it covered. But it's been over a year now. I haven't heard anything back. So if maybe you guys should just look into having the Silver and Fit, because that's under several of the Medicare Advantage programs, to have them, that we could use Tumbleweed as one of our physical fitness facilities. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Again, staff, we could have our rec folks look at that.
Mayor.
Council member.
Thank you. Josh, you ever play ping pong? You ever play table tennis?
Once or twice.
Yeah, it's good. I used to play a lot. But I know what they're talking about. And I think, remember Councilmember Wong had put some table tennis into Tumbleweed Park, but I'm sure we've got a few more thousand people in town that love to play, or at least dabble in it from time to time. If one of you guys will take me up on a challenge when we get some new tables in there, maybe I'll take you on. You said you're high rated, so I'll start with somebody that's a little lower rated first.
Maybe me.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe the mayor.
It's lower rated. Okay, thank you. Next up, Mike Simpson. Mr. Simpson. Again, we cannot engage you, but you have up to 3 minutes. You can come up to the mic and state your name and address for the record, sir. We won't start till you get up here.
Mr. Mayor and City Council and staff, my name is Mike Simpson. I'm a project manager for Simpson Walker Contracting, and we're the contractor that's remodeling the tennis center restrooms over at Tumbleweed Park. And we completed that project on November 4th. It was accepted as substantially completed by the architect and by the city of Chandler. The reason why I'm here tonight is because we have a thing called not liquidated damage, but the change orders. And that's where we are. I understand that the city of Chandler have to approve all change orders in order to get paid. Well, that's why I'm here tonight. And I brought what you need in order to get us our money. We have completed the project. Now, what's happening over there now is one of our subcontractors, it's Trueville Windows and Glass Company, is slow about putting in the glass. And it's been a problem there. So we had to call in the registrar of contractors to give them a little boost. Well, they gave him till March 31st to be through with those windows. And that's another where the problem is. But it had nothing to do with us remodeling the bathrooms. Those are complete and people are using them, but we can't get paid. And it's two names I want to throw out, which is the Jason Garcia is the project manager for the city of Chandler. And then that's Clay Cornworth, who represent Kitcher Construction. And Clay is the problem where we can't get paid. Jason Garcia have okayed it, have told Clay to pay us, and he still won't pay us. So right now we're talking about change orders, more or less $100,000. The city of Chandler is already holding $55,000 in retention. We need to get paid so we can pay our people and pay our bills. Is there any questions from the?
We cannot have a conversation with you, sir, because this is unscheduled.
Thank
you. If you would like to take that material, maybe to that gentleman, Matt, or the clerk over there, they would love to be able to look at that, and someone will get back with you. Thank you, sir. Our last speaker card is from Victor Hardy. Get to make the long walk twice. Again, unscheduled public bears. If we can listen, please state your name and address for the record, sir.
Pastor Victor Hardy, 2220 East Spruce Drive. Chandler 85286. He's part of my congregation. Councilmember Stewart. I am here to formally resign from for our city Chandler board. I know it's not something that I need to do in front of you here, and I understand that. But I wanted to do it here because I wanted everybody to know that no one talked to me about it, no one said anything to me about it. I didn't want any questions about why, where, or whatever that situation is. It's a decision that I had to make for myself, and so I wanted it on videotape. That way, no one has to say, well, Victor told me this or Victor told me that. So that is my reasoning for coming here tonight to let you know that I am resigning from the board. And I thank everyone who has supported me in getting things done. We had some moves, we did some things. It was a long process to get things done, but I think it's time for me to relinquish my post with for our city channel. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day.
Thank you, sir. Council, that concludes our unscheduled public appearances. Next, we have announcements. And I will start with that. I want to first remind everybody that the Chandler Jazz Festival will be here from March 30th to April 2nd. Each day you can experience some great jazz music, some of the best you'll ever hear, and you can learn more at chandleraz.gov. Today, you may or not be aware of it, but it is Chip and Dip Day. And we celebrated at City Hall with a chip and dip party on 5th floor. Sorry to those of you on council that didn't get the memo, that didn't get sent out. Staff brought some of their best recipes, and there were some really good ones. Here's a fun fact. More than 284 million Americans consumed potato chips in the year 2020. That's probably 3/4 of our population, if not more. And after this afternoon, that number might go up some more. So it's not too late. Serrano's and other stores and other great restaurants in downtown Chandler are still open and would love for you to celebrate Chip and Dip Day. Secondly, today is also Piestewa Challenge Day. Today, hundreds of people gathered at Piestewa Peak for the Piestewa Challenge. The purpose was to honor the 177 women who have given their lives in combat operations around the globe. Lori Piestewa, Arizona native, was one of the first women to be killed in combat during the Iraq War in 2003. Her convoy was ambushed, and she and several others were taken hostage. She later died of her injuries. So we all join today's challenge. We join all of today's challenge participants in honoring the memory of Lori and those who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. Next, I do want to invite council and our audience to our East Valley Mayor's Prayer Breakfast. The topic this year is youth mental health and suicide awareness. It's a wonderful opportunity to network with faith leaders and other councils and mayors from around the East Valley. The date is April 20th. Tickets are still available at evmpb.org. And then finally, I want to say happy Easter and happy Passover to our community, as we will not be gathering until after those dates next month. Councilmember Poston.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to congratulate the Chandler Chamber for another successful Ostrich Festival. It was 4 days this year, which is a little bit different. And I think despite the weather being a little bit cooler, they had great attendance and a lot of people out there. I did want to recognize the fact that our public safety had an enormous presence out there, both the police and the fire department. You know, there's some things that are better when they're boring, and it was safe and calm and family friendly, and a lot of that was due to their efforts. And in one final note, there were quite a few other municipalities out there being toured around, looking at what Chandler is doing in terms of their events and how they're drawing people to the community. And so that is something that we can be very proud of. So I just wanted to say congratulations to the Chamber and to the city for the partnership that we have with them. It was another great, successful event.
Thank you. Councilmember Harris.
All right, thanks, Mayor. So this past weekend, Councilmember Asinas and I attended the Fresh Brunch by 1 in 10. They are celebrating 30 years of service. And among many of the distinguished guests that were there was Governor Hobbs, Representative Stanton, and many other elected officials. It was pretty cool. And there is Nate standing between Councilmember Asinas and I at the Fresh Brunch. It was pretty amazing. Really good time. 1,500 people attended the event, and it's always a great event to be at. And as you guys can see, I'm styling with my shorts and my blazer. I'm just giving some style. That's it, little style. Also, I attended a mental health symposium that was held at St. Matthew's Church in Chandler. Many of our constituents was there to discuss the issue of mental health. It was a packed house, a lot of great feedback. CUSD was there as well. And so we had a great time to engage in conversation. Mental health continues to be something that I feel is very important, that needs to have a light shine too. And we need to continue to remember to dial pound 988 if you know someone that's experiencing that type of emergency. And we also, this past week, I attended the American Legion 104th birthday right here in the city of Chandler. And as you guys can see, Bill, he is 96 years old. And he's the oldest American Legion member, and I'm the youngest American Legion member. So typically what they'll do is they'll have the oldest member and the youngest member cut the cake. So we kind of cut the cake together and had some words of expression. And it's this one is, I think this is the oldest one in the city. Well, it is the oldest one in the city of Chandler, that is for sure. I think it's one of the oldest ones in the state. We have a lot of documents that's still there, and it's pretty amazing, a pretty amazing event. And lastly, I'll share that this weekend I will be emceeing the Jack and Jill event, where we will be featuring young men, African American men, which is like a symposium, and it's going to be right here at the Gila River. And the mission is basically to what we do is we really help these young men get to their next level through mentorship. And so it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be at the Wild Horse Pass. The young men, they actually engage in entertainment, step, all kinds of stuff. So it's like a full event. So if you want to come out, come and join us. It's going to be a full event. That's right here at the Wild Horse Pass this Saturday at 6 p.m. And I look forward to seeing everyone there. Thank you. Thanks, Mayor.
That was quite the bold redefinition of formal wear. You're on the cutting edge.
You know, I like to wear my sneakers. You know what I'm saying? I like my legs to get some breathing room.
Councilmember Stewart, follow that, please.
Get those legs on a calf machine.
But chicken, don't talk about my chicken legs now. Come on now.
Hey, I got to tell you, to echo your sentiment about the Ostrich Fest, I checked off a bucket list item to see the Commodores in person a few years ago, Cool and the Gang. I mean, those are like some childhood memories brought back, and I just had a great time. And Chandler Chamber always does it right. It was a perfect community event. So great catch. Hey, speaking of good music, and to dovetail on what Mayor Hartke was talking about, make it to the Chandler Festival, the Jazz Festival. It is top shelf, and there'll be big bands, there'll be small one-man bands, but it is a great weekend. If you haven't been, I mean, it is a blast, and you might see me down there. On another note, our budget is underway. We had a great meeting on Monday. We talked about a lot. Matter of fact, we talked for 4 hours about, we really dug into, you know, the meat of the budget. I think it's one of the most important things we do as a council, and everybody brought their ideas. We used the surveys from the community. So so you know, we are looking at it and combing over it with a fine-tooth comb. So at the end, I know it will be another fiscally responsible budget, and it will be set us forward into 23-24 well. Hey, I want to congratulate 8th grader Clarette Ricegraft and her robotics team. They are the 2023 Arizona State champions of the first Tech Robotics Challenge. That seems to happen a lot here in Chandler. And STEAM and STEM programs are so important to Chandler's future as a community of innovation, and we're excited. Are you here?
She is.
Hey! Congratulations. Thanks for being here, Clarette.
Can we get the camera on Clarette? Is that possible? here?
Back in the back row.
Back in the back. Put it on there.
Maybe we could,
We'll take a picture with you right after.
well, we'll take
We'd
right
love to
after,
do
we'll
that.
get a picture with you up here. Thank you. But hey, we're excited to see what happens for you in the future, and congratulations. And thanks for being here. All right. There's a picture on the screen too. Mayor, that's it for me. Oh, you know what? There is one more thing. Pastor Hardy, while I don't want to get into why or what for, I just want to thank you for everything you do. And your invocations are just second to none. And the mayor kind of whispered, they set the tone for what we're here to do for our meeting. So I know that you may be resigning from one post, but you're not allowed to go anywhere. So that's fact. And I'll see you at church. See ya.
I second that motion. Oh, that wasn't a motion.
City manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. Just two brief things I'd like to add tonight. Just to echo Councilmember Poston's and Councilmember Stewart's thank yous for our staff that work the Ostrich Festival. Not only our public safety teams and police and fire, but also our cultural development staff that put a lot of effort into planning that special event. And also our community services teams, our park maintenance folks. They do a great job helping get that facility ready for such a wonderful event. So wanted to publicly thank them as well. Also want to let you know that this week I had the opportunity to welcome our very first class of Chandler Gilbert Community College interns to the city. They started here on Monday, and so wanted to thank Raylan Nielsen and her team from the Human Resources Department. Great partnership that you approved several months ago with our partners at Chandler Gilbert Community College to start bringing interns over here to help with our department needs. So 13 fresh faces joining Team Chandler this week and will be with us for the next several months. So we're very excited to have that program up and running. Thank you so much. That's it.
All right. Council, staff, that concludes our meeting. Have a good evening.